Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. I hope everybody's having a great morning, noon, evening, wherever you are around the world. My name is Dennis Spurling. Thank you all so much for, well, let me give a big shout out to the Crimson Sun and my oldest son for their time spent here reviewing The Godfather. One, I actually asked them to do that. I thought that it would be a good exercise for them to try to expand their understanding of different things. But either way, if you're with me, hit the number one button. I need to make sure we talk about what I need to talk about. If you can hear me, hit the number one button. Big shout out to everybody who contributed to those young fellas. Guillermo Williams, Salty Balls, Mr. 43TX, Salty Balls again, Devin Townsend. Keep doing your thing, young brother. Thank you so much, Devin. Sleep with the third eye open. Who else we got up in here? Broken Blade. Devin Brooks, Salty Balls again. Appreciate y'all supporting my boys. Y'all make sure y'all support their channel. So let's get straight to it. Y'all had the warm-up act. I had the pleasure to be in attendance at the Foundational Black American Summit this Saturday in Dallas, Texas. Somebody type Foundational Black America, or FBA, in the chat room. Go ahead and do that. So I was there on the invitation of Mr. Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Here's a photograph, I think. I can show you guys so you know I'm not out here making this up. I did a forum with some other lawyers. Largely, we educated people on it. That's me at the main stage. You guys should be able to see it right there. So, I got the invitation from Tariq Nasheed's company out of Los Angeles. So it was an honor and a pleasure to attend. That's me today at church. Excuse me, Uncle D. I still got them gators popping, baby. But for the most part, like I said, I wanted to give a big shout out to Tariq Nasheed. It was an honor and pleasure to be invited as a speaker at the Foundational Black American Summit in Dallas. The other thing was there was so many great minds there. I had the pleasure to interact with Mr. Ward. The other gentleman didn't make it, but that's okay. But here's the thing. A lot of you all don't understand something, and I want to kind of share with you a little bit. Excuse my voice. But after after talking all day yesterday, I'm a little hoarse here. But the big picture is this, and I want to kind of share something with you. How many of you guys have been with me since before Kevin Samuels? How many of you guys have been with? Hit the number one button if you've been with me that long. Go ahead and do it. Hit the number one button if you've been with me before Kevin Samuels. Let me know. We don't have a whole lot of folks in here. We kind of short. But how many of you all came in after Kevin Samuels passed away? Hit the KS button. Go ahead and hit the KS button. Right. And for those of you guys don't know, I took my boys with me yesterday because I thought it would be a very good experience for them. And so that's them on the flight with me over. And that's us leaving. That's how we went dressed, representing. I didn't tell everybody where I was going, but bottom line is I like Tariq Nasheed. Same reason I like Kevin Samuels, because they see and understand the big picture. A lot of people don't get the big picture, okay? A lot of people don't understand what these men see. I see it. I see what they're trying to do. What does that mean? Kevin Samuels wanted black people to get back together. He wanted black men and black women to hook up. He wanted high-value black men to get themselves to the point where they could take care of black women and have black families. That's what Kevin Samuels was about. That's why he did everything he did. He spent 5.5 years working on black men, and he spent about 2 years working on black women. A lot of people didn't understand that. They thought, oh, this guy's just being critical. But he wasn't. He was doing something. He had a plan. And it was working because it was beginning to steer the conversation in a more positive direction. He was basically telling black American women, you're going to have to compete with these men, something that they were unaccustomed to doing. You see? First time it was done. These simps aren't doing it. As far as the simps are concerned, the black men were the worst things on the planet. But that was corrected. He brought you statistics. He understood. Now, many of y'all don't like it. Where are my Africans at? Where are my Caribbeans at? Where are my Africans and Caribbeans and people from the diaspora? I want to hear from y'all. I want to help you guys understand something that you may not understand. See, Kevin Samuels did the same thing Tariq Nasheed did. Hey, I see what you're doing. They see the big picture. Now, there's a big difference between Kevin Samuels' brilliance and my brilliance, and Tariq Nasheed's brilliance and my brilliance. I'm more on the lines of an enforcer. Those men are visionaries. I gave Tariq a big shout out from the stage because he deserved it. He's a visionary. Kevin Samuels was a visionary. It's my understanding that they actually had some conversations with each other, which is great to hear. The other thing is, both of them are interested, or Kevin was interested in the well-being of black people. So is Tariq Nasheed. Where are my Africans at? Where are my Caribbeans at? Hit the number 1 button if you got a family, if you're non-FBA. Some of you all are angry with Brother Tariq Nasheed. Why? Because you don't like the fact that he calls you tethers. You don't like the fact that he calls you out for that coonish behavior. He doesn't like the fact that oftentimes when our black brothers and sisters come from overseas, they come to the United States and they have these horrible things to say about black people, and it's unremittent. Here's the thing I need you to understand. It's not that the brother hates you, just like Kevin Samuels didn't hate black women. It's the fact that we come over here, when you come over here, we want your help. We don't want you to hurt the situation. We don't want you to pile on. And so Tariq Nasheed is just pushing back. You see? And he's calling you out for your behavior. You can be offended by it. But imagine this. Imagine having fought a war, as black Americans have, as foundational black Americans have, and you suffering from PTSD because of all the trauma that you've had to endure in the war against white supremacy, and we're in the belly of the beast. And then you get your brothers and sisters coming from other countries, and instead of helping, they further compound the trauma. You see what I'm saying? And Tariq Nasheed, being who he is, a man with game, I think he wrote like 4 books on game, is calling you out for it. Clearly the man is a master of psychology. Clearly the man understands black American and culture from different places. Clearly he understands that. He knows what he's doing. And so he's shaming and guilting you all and teaching you all that this is not the way to go. Y'all need to fall in and get on code. And so that's the same thing that Kevin Samuels was doing. And when you put those two together, along with some of the work that others are doing, it all works hand in hand. Y'all hit the number 1 button. We'll be right back.
Shine
welcome back to the broadcast. So let's go ahead and get into this. I did put the link in the chat room. So we're talking about the big picture. We're talking about understanding the big picture. And, hopefully all of those who are here on YouTube, whether you consider yourself pro-Black, I don't, whether you consider yourself conservative, whether you're woke, whatever you are, you understand that the big picture is that there's a code that we have to follow. And there's a certain way in which we have to operate and we have to carry on with each other. Okay. The thing is, we all have a limited amount of time here on Earth. And what you want to do is maximize that time. Are y'all with me? Is this boring? We can do something else. I know there's not a whole lot of people up in here. Some people came and went. They saw some kids talking about something and they was like, I'm up out of here. I get it, but I need the people who are here to be here. You see what I'm saying? So hit the number 1 button. Somebody said, if you're not pro-Black, what are you? Pro-Blacks actually want to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I tell Black men they're free. You understand? So that's the difference between me. I don't have you on an agenda. I'm not here to dictate to you. Pro-Black is nothing but a new religion. That's not what I am. I tell Black men that they are free men. The world belongs to them. That's what I teach my brothers. So that automatically disqualifies me from being pro-Black, because they want you to fall in and fight. They want to draft you into their army and have you fighting so that they could eventually have control over you. That's not what I'm here to do. Okay, period. So that's not me. Shout out to Johnny Walker. He says, showing my support for you, Mr. Spurling. Thank you so much, bro. But I want to get Jamal Smith. We're here for you. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. So let's get back to it. So what I do is, family, you got these beautiful, brilliant men like Kevin Samuels and Tariq Nasheed, who are innovators, who can move crowds, who can get millions of people to listen to them, support their information, support their products. That's wonderful. That's not the role that I feel. Sometimes you have to have enforcers of the code. Sometimes you have to be the ramifications and the you have to be the consequences associated with not abiding by the code. See, to my African brothers and my Jamaican and Caribbean brothers, if you don't understand where Tariq Nasheed is coming from, then it's my job to make sure you don't even get a chance to understand. For instance, if you're going to come to the United States and be a tether, if you're going to come to the United States and just help pile on and not help, you're going to be one of those people who, like the current vice president, help incarcerate Black men and take black women and put them in jail, like Kamala Harris, then you're not helping. There's going to be people like me who come up with legislation to make it more difficult for you to get here because you're not helping. You see? So I'm that right hand. I'm justice. I am the sword of foundational Black Americans. Those are the brilliant minds. If you're not going to listen to a Kevin Samuels who's saying, sweetheart, you're too goddamn big, okay, to be out here trying to get a man who is worth millions of dollars and who has a lot of options. Well, I'm the one that's going to turn the cold shoulder on you. I'm the one, me and all the ICE lords, somebody type ICE lords in the chat room. Me and those guys are going to turn the cold shoulder on you. That's what we do. You see, there's no way in hell I'm ever going to have 1 million followers. Why? Because the message that I deliver does not appeal to that many people. The message that I deliver appeals to that group of Black men specifically who want to see things change, who want to take their power back. Somebody type, take your power back in the chat room. Take your power back in the chat room. Somebody type, take your power back in the chat room. That's what I represent. Okay? That's what the ICE lords are. Right? I'm the Blizzard King. we're here to take our power back, whether you like it or not. You all have misunderstood Kevin Samuels because many of you didn't see and didn't understand the big picture. Many misunderstand Brother Tariq Nasheed because you don't understand, you don't see the big picture. I do. And I think that's why the brother brought me in. I think one of the really interesting things that happened, I had an appearance on Fox News, and they asked me whether or not we should get involved with a crisis that was going on in Haiti. And I specifically said, well, you know, I got love for my Haitian brothers, but they're not extending any olive branches to the foundational Black American people. So what is the interest in us helping them? And I think that sent a message. Now, the reason I like the term foundational Black American, because I'm already Black American. And if you add foundational Black American on it, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. That means you're one of the Black Americans here at the foundation, at the founding of the country. You see? And so that's why I like that, opposed to some of the other names that are out there. It's an easy, it easily meshes with what we have going on already. So I like that. But you know, and I think, again, that's why I believe the brother invited me. Now, what I'll do is I'm gonna take a quick break, and when I come back, I will explain to you what we talked about, what I talked about at the FBA meeting, that FBA summit yesterday in Dallas, Texas. We'll be right back. Y'all get the likes up.
She's up on the main line, tell her what you want. Oh, she's up on the main line, tell her what you want. She's up on the main line, tell her what you want. Call him up and tell her what you want. Oh, call him up, tell her what you want. Call him up, tell her what you want. Call him up, tell her what you want. Call him up and tell her what you want. Oh, she just said if you go, I'll go with you. Open up your mouth and I'll speak for you. Lord, if I go, tell me what to say. They won't believe in me. Oh, they won't believe in the Father. They won't believe in the Son. Oh, they won't believe in the Holy Ghost. They won't believe in me. There's a storm out on the ocean, and it's moving this way. If your soul not anchored in Jesus, you will surely drift away, drift away, drift away, drift away. You will surely drift away. If your soul not anchored in Jesus, you will surely drift away. Lord, I'm trying to make it hungry. 99 and a half. Lord, I'm trying to make it hungry. 99 and a half. Oh, it won't do. Oh, it won't do. Hey, 99 and a half. Said it won't do. It won't do. Cause 99 and a half won't do. There's a storm.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. So, again, for you guys who don't know, I had the opportunity to go to the Foundational Black American Summit yesterday in Dallas. I flew up Saturday morning with my two oldest sons. We got up there pretty early, had a good time, and I spoke to the crowd. It was a good thing. Here's the thing. So the questions that we spoke about, it was myself and a brother, DeMarcus Ware, who's a lawyer in the Dallas area. He focuses primarily on, but you know, before we get started, y'all got to get the likes up, baby. You got to get the likes up. It's okay that we only have 173 people in here. I'm cool with that. But y'all got to get the likes up. You can't leave me hanging like that. I get it. I understand. You got other stuff to do, but I need to hear and know that you all are interacting with me. We have a tradition in the Black community called call and response. And I'm calling and I'm not getting any responses. So y'all need to make sure y'all hit that number 1 button. Let me know you up in here. I need to see it. Make it happen every night. I get it. Y'all been drinking and partying. I understand, but that don't. But you got to make sure you take care of Uncle D for his time. You understand what I'm saying? So, nevertheless, the least you could do is get that number 1 button popping. The least you could do is make sure you hit that likes up button. That's what I need to happen. Okay, family. But other than that, so I'm on stage. It was a nice crowd. Everybody was cool. It was a good thing. I thought it would be a great experience for my sons. We had a good time up there. Out of courtesy to Brother Tariq Nasheed, I'm not going to play any of the actual footage, but I will let you see kind of what the vibe was like. It was very professional. Really enjoyed it. I love seeing Black people put good stuff together like so. So that's me right there on the right. So the young lady, she was asking questions, legally related questions. And some of the questions were as follows. What do you do if you get pulled over by the police? Those of you guys who follow me on this page, you already know. You already know what I say. You see what I'm saying? You get pulled over by the police. Cop pulls you over, roll down all the windows, get your driver's license, get your insurance, hold it out the window, other hand on the steering wheel. If you have a concealed handgun license, you put that in your hand too. Don't reach for the gun. Don't try to expose it. Don't let them see where it is. If you ask for it, you point to it. You don't reach for it because you don't want to give them any reason to pop you. Basically, what you're doing is you're trying to survive the encounter. Okay. And I also, we took some, so that's kind of what we talked about. We talked a little bit about renters' rights. We talked a little bit about civil rights and what do you do? I gave them a couple of war stories. The stuff y'all get from me every night for free. You would be shocked how many people truly appreciate what I'm doing for them. I could probably, with what I do, begin to charge people to come sit in and have conversations with me about this because the stuff is life-changing. The stuff that I do. Who else oh man, somebody shout out to the Cash App. Let me see. Big shout out to Absolem. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. Super chat. Thank you for the Cash App. Yeah, your job is to survive the encounter. And so I gave them that. I told them basically, if you really look at it, if you get what's the worst thing gonna do? Give you a traffic ticket? You get a traffic ticket. I got a lawyer that does traffic tickets. He charges anywhere from $50 to $100. That's nothing. So you don't get your ass whooped on the side of a road by some cop over $50. You see what I mean? And the crowd really responded to that, man. The crowd really responded to that. I thought that was pretty cool because again, I've been talking to a very closed audience, and that's you guys, for 3 years. But the thing is, if you hear my ideas fresh and you're not tainted like some of these lovely ladies on YouTube who just want to say, oh, you filled with hate, blah, blah, blah. I had one lady tell me, oh, you go to church. How can you go to church with all that hate? I said, well, maybe it's not hate. See, what I'm giving people is the ultimate form of love, is truth. Because like Kevin Samuels, like Tariq Nasheed, I love Black people. I just think at this point, we've taken so many wrong turns and got off the right path that you need somebody who's willing to correct you in a firm way, like a father or like an uncle. You see what I mean? Who's willing to tell you the truth. And that's where I'm at. And a lot of these lovely ladies are not used to hearing the truth. I see the big picture. We're not going to be here in 40 or 50 years as the people we are right now unless we make some serious course correction. You see, I understand the big picture. Black men and Black women have issues. Those issues need to be resolved. I see the big picture. Big shout out to my man, Deacon Salty Balls, 9 drunken heathens have their cups overrunneth of plenty, a slight from slumber in this day of memory. A day of celebration for thine fallen soldiers, sailors, and airmen. Hail to these fighting men of the paid and ultimate price. big shout out to all of the fighting men. Shout out to all of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Space Force, Army National Guard, Air National Guard. Who else we got out here? Coast Guard, Army Reserves. Big shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to all the work you do. I appreciate that, man. But y'all hit the number one button for the military service personnel who's fought in wars, foreign and domestic. Thank you, especially for the Black unsung heroes, all those Medal of Honors, Medal of Honor winners that we talk about, here in the chat room. You guys remember when I used to do those series? Y'all make sure y'all put those names of those great men in the chat room so these people know that we know and we acknowledge what they've done. But let's get back to the subject matter at hand. So, I the big picture is where we at. That's what needs to be talked about, and that's what I talk about. It's just I'm not doing it in a nice way because generally speaking, I'm really not that person that's going to sit up and coddle you. I'm not the person that's going to sit here and tell you that if you're a Pookie and a Ray Ray, you're not doing anything, that it's the white man's fault. Okay? I'm going to say, get off your ass and you do what you can. And if you die trying to come up, oh well. You see? If you're a fat chick, if you're a bad built chick, if you're a chick with a bunch of kids, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything's going to be all right and some prince and the shining horse is going to come save you. I'm not going to do that. Big shout out to 50 Cal Hal, Dwight Hal Johnson. That's one of the great Black heroes that we talked about here on this channel. Matter of fact, man, we should really do that. That's something we probably should have done earlier today, got it all going. But, it's all good. It is what it is, baby. But you guys just understand that. Again, the link is in the chat room. Anybody who wants to come in. I will hit the number one button if you hear if you kind of understand what I'm saying. We'll be right back.
Brother Spurling met his fiance in my mixed group,
and she was doing her thing.
Ivy League educated,
He's a
beautiful
successful
sister.
attorney.
He's a successful
Now
attorney.
he's like,
That's
my wife. I'm gonna put
I'm gonna put her through law school. She's gonna become an attorney at my practice.
That's the kind of shit.
I'm talking about.
I want to call you.
I want
to
call you back to the sister that called into my show who said when I first listened to you, I didn't like you.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. So, you guys, I guess it's been kind of like a lazy night. So what we'll do is I just wanted to share that with y'all. Again, I think the footage will probably be up soon. You can hear what I talked about. It was a good look. It was a good thing. Again, recognize the brilliance of these men. Okay, recognize the brilliance of a Tariq Nasheed. Recognize the brilliance of a Kevin Samuels, because you don't always get thought leaders like that who understand the big picture. You see, and when you have someone like that, it's very good to get it. Make sure you go purchase his movies, Hidden Colors, all the Hidden Colors, the Haitian Revolution. Those are good movies to go purchase. Be inspired by this young brother's work. I am very much so. I hope you guys are too. Let's get my man Alvin Holden in here. Alvin, what's up, young brother? How you doing?
Yes, sir. What's up, sir? How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. Kids over here took all the donations and shit. Talking about the Godfather fighting with each other. I'm like, y'all are not representing. Y'all over here smacking each other about boy, I'm telling you. And then one of them talking about white women. You're gonna get me banned from YouTube talking about white women. The whitest white woman. I'm like, where do y'all get that from, man? Where do y'all get that from? And then one of them is woke. The other one is a closet Republican. Apparently, it's something to look at.
I saw that. You got some. There's some. Yeah. The politics are forming. I could see
already, man. It's a trip. Already. It's a trip. But I'm trying to explain to folks the big picture, man. Do you get what I'm saying when I say the big picture? Go ahead, tell us.
Sir.
I see it, and that's why these two men say, "Hey, I'm gonna bring Dennis in."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. A matter of fact, I think as I thought I was I was doing my best to be the meanest man on the internet. I was doing my best, man. I've been fighting for the title to be the most unliked, meanest man on the internet.
You're close.
I'm trying, but then he giving me shout outs on his page. Say, Brother Dennis will be there. You see what I'm saying? And then invites me to a show. Like, damn, okay. Well, I guess some people see it, and then I just recognize he sees the big picture. I'm tired of this ratchet behavior that's making Black women look bad. I mean, the good Black women. I'm tired of this ratchet, degenerate behavior that's making good Black men look bad because they lump us all into that same category.
100%.
And I think people like Tariq Nasheed recognize that. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I know Kevin Samuels recognized that. And that's why he brought me aboard. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, but I wish other people would recognize this man's brilliance so we could all get behind. Because the truth is, that place should have been filled up. It should have been people.
Yeah.
It was people lined up down the street. But I mean, it should have been so packed that you couldn't even get in. Let's get this. Sadiq and Salty Ball says, scroll of merchants, a call from the assemblage of men to match then riches bestowed from the treasure chests and Abrams worth of coin for the barrister defending portrait of Black male. Yeah, it's a hard job.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I literally, look, let me tell you something. When y'all see that, I told them the same things. They had one brother, and I know you come in, we talk, we converse, but
yes, sir.
Like, I had one brother come in and say, well, why don't you and maybe this lawyer here get together and come up with some laws? And so I let him talk, and I said, let me get this. I say, so basically, you want me to stop practicing law and come up and become a legislator. That's what you want me to do. I said, number one, that's a pay cut. Number two, there's already people out here who do that. And this is what I said, quote unquote. I said, politicians are like strippers. I said that in a crowded room. Politicians are like strippers. You give them $500, you can have whatever you want. Get 10 people together with $500.
That's
and
real.
Go and say we want to see our local politician. They're damn near right, whatever you want. I said it only costs $35,000 to fund a district court judge campaign here in Houston, Texas. And this is a major American city. It don't cost that much. And you know, I get that. And see, sometimes, Alvin,
yes, sir,
I know things and I say things assuming that other people can just figure they know, but they don't know. And so it goes over their head. It's not that hard. You see, it's not that hard. For $1 million, you could run a city. You could donate to every politician in that city worth knowing would have to take your phone calls when you call for $1 million, from the mayor all the way down to the councilman to the dog catcher. That's how easy it is to run a city.
Yeah.
You see? But go ahead, brother. What are your thoughts on this general conversation? And look, Alvin was the first person I told that where I was, because I usually, when I'm going places, I have my security guards with me and shit, and you know, it goes against protocol. But what are your thoughts? Go ahead, do that. I'm gonna come right.
No, I feel bad. I think as people, I don't want to say this, we lack a certain level of political sophistication. And and when you say the bigger picture, we can't get out of our own way. I don't want to say it like this, but we can't get out of our own way. It's like it's tribalism for the wrong things. Does that make any sense? Right. So it's like some people will say, oh, I don't like Tariq Nasheed because he da. But in all reality, he's done nothing but fight for Black folks.
Yeah,
what's the problem? You know, or two here or there that you might have a problem with, or you might not exactly see eye to eye with. But
I have great respect for Tariq Nasheed. I've always liked his work.
Me too.
You know, I've always liked what the young brother stood for. You know, and see, but go ahead. I don't want to cut y'all, but I'm gonna give y'all one of my earlier thoughts about him. But go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just we can't get out of the things that we should be up in arms about and fight for and support. We don't, and unfortunately, it's a lot of misguided energy. I'll say it like that. We have a lot of misguided energy, and the things that what would really help us as a group. You know, I have a conversation about it all the time about group politics and group power, and how, you know, we should be one of the most powerful groups in this country.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously again, we don't, it would be disingenuous to act like that racism doesn't exist. Clearly it does. But the laws are written in ways so that there are ways around these things. There are ways for us to protect ourselves. There are ways to defend ourselves. Our money spends just like anybody else's spends. There are, we have a lot of bad strategy. And
I think, I was thinking, Tariq Nasheed, originally he had all these books about game. You see what I'm saying? And then he start really talking more about society, social racism, bigotry, those sort of things. I know that he started putting on those Hidden Colors movies and I think it's called Buck Breaking or something like that. Yeah. But it takes a person with game to recognize the game that's being run. And so I'm like, wow, you see what I mean? I get it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people can't understand, how did he segue from this to that? I do. It's game. You see what I mean? He saw it for what it was, and he began to call on it. And I really appreciate what that brother has been doing for over 2 decades now, almost.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Deacon Salty Ball says, scroll of weights and measures 2-in-1 by modern conversations on Abrams equivalence. In weight is 3/4 of a Lizzo. And the mean weight of men upon the scrimmage in American football. Oh my goodness. Paul's named after twice failed GAM. Boy, you are something else. Shut up. That's a good place to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes.
Oh, how wonderful Jesus promised he'll take care of me. Yes, he did. Yeah. Oh, how marvelous it is. Jesus promised he'll take care of me. Say it again, y'all. Yeah. Oh, how wonderful it is. Jesus promised he'll take care of me. All right. Say it, y'all. Yeah. Oh, how marvelous it is. Jesus promised he'll take care of me. Come on, y'all. I don't have to worry about the things ahead. All I have to do is live right and believe in what he said. I can call him in the morning. I can call him in the middle of the night. Yeah. And when I call him, he'll make everything all right. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how big the problem may be. Jesus promised he'll take care of me. Yes, he did. Jesus promised he'll take care of me. Oh, oh, how wonderful it is. Jesus promised he'll take care of me. Yes, he did. Yeah. Oh, how marvelous it is.
Welcome back to the broadcast. So, again, you're talking about understanding the big picture and the conversation that I had yesterday at the Foundational Black American Summit in Dallas. Alvin, I believe, happened to call me or happened to send me a text message, and I let him know. And he's the only one that I talked to about that. And again, there's some footage out there. I don't want to share it out of respect for the brother. I want to get another invite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And hopefully next year, what I'll do is I'll help cross promote it on my page. So you guys who maybe want to meet me in person for whatever damn reason that might be, y'all can come hang out with me. But shout out to Senyoka. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Appreciate you guys. We light on the Cash Apps and the PayPals, the Super Chats tonight, but I'm going to let them slide. Y'all gave a lot of money to them youngers earlier. Them boys was hustling. That boy had to stay up for 3 hours and watch The Godfather. And I made him take notes. He did the best he can. Best he could. You see what I'm saying? It's a very complicated movie. But here's the other thing, Alvin. So one of the other things we discussed, one of the brothers was like, come, we need more leadership. I'm like, no, you need to save yourself. I literally said from the stage, save yourself, black man. So I've been throwing stuff out there. I let them know that I was an advocate for black men and black boys. I didn't hear no boos from the crowd. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
it's time. Maybe it's time that we did. Because see, remember when I started doing this back in 2016 and really back in 2013 when I was angry about my divorce and it's like people objected to it. But I think now it's okay to take this mainstream. So what that lets you guys know is it's okay for you men to advocate on behalf of yourselves and your sons. Everybody else has a spokesperson. We know the lovely ladies got spokespeople. Okay, the white women, they got all the spokespeople they need. White men, they got the legislator pretty much everywhere. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
And any folk, and let me say it like this. if anybody that's speaking against white men in the legislature, they let them in. You see what I'm saying? Why would you let these feminists in here? Y'all should have been smacking white men. I shouldn't say that. Y'all should have been handling these lovely white women a long time ago and putting them in their place, but now they done got out of line and giving y'all hell. But we got our own problems. But what we as black men need to do is we need to continue being advocates for black men, and it's the time for that. Salty Ball says, scroll the weights and measures 2 and 1. Poopies, dozen 3 baby mamas, 4 kids, each 12 months to feed. Whereas Akeisha mile is further than a light. Oh God, he done started light year with and withstand birth more powerful than supernova. Man, he needs to write scripts for Marvel. I need 3 more donations to get 20. Somebody give me 3 more super chats. Okay. Give me 3 more super chats so we can get to 20. But you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we have, man, again, I'll say it like this. Even me, right? I like to have considered myself a pretty aware. I'm not going to say the woke word, but I was always thought that I was aware. But I still had the rose-colored glasses for a long time. It wasn't until relatively recently that I realized that it was all kind of a con game, and that it was, and trying to wake our people up out of that slumber is a lot. Right. It's a lot taller order than I thought that it might be. I even just doing this, I'm meeting resistance that I didn't expect that I would meet, but people are at least now open to hearing it. And, and they're not, again, obviously bless St. Kevin Samuels, brought it to the mainstream. A lot of these ideas and a lot of the logic that was lost is finally now hitting the mainstream. So, these messages don't quite burn everyone's ears like it may have a couple of years ago. I know that I think that people are, finally ready for a change, which is exactly why I think that whole revamping of The Color Purple is coming out. I think people.
Oh my God, we gotta see. We're gonna have to dig into that. Shout out to my man Rich Turner. I was in D-Town, man. Rich Turner said, "Hope you enjoy my neck of the woods. Knew you would be speaking. I would have flown down for the weekend." Bro, it's all good. I popped in and popped out. I had my kids with me, so I was gonna be in and out. But here's the thing. We're coming into a political season, and this is where this gets important. Are we going to translate being advocates for black men and black boys to voting for the politician, irrespective of their political affiliation, Democrat, Republican, Green Party? Is that going to translate to, I'm going to vote my interest? That's the question. Because let me tell you now, and you guys, it took me a long time to come out the closet and admit that I voted for Trump. Okay, it took me a long time. I wasn't, you know what type of pushback you get from these black folks, but I couldn't vote for Biden.
Yeah.
Look, man, I held my nose. I voted for Hillary Clinton. Because why? They said Trump was this crazy maniac, and then he won. And I'm like, shit, I'm paying less taxes. He's taking us out of wars that we've been in for years. He's kicking ass around the country, around the world, telling people, y'all gonna have to pay for your own defense. Okay, America's tired of footing the bill, America for Americans. He gave China the stiff arm. I truly don't give a shit how many whores he fucked, how many he paid off. I don't care how many people I just don't care. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you because he was good for me as a black man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to vote for Trump again if he runs. DeSantis, he's like the broad you take to the date, to the prom, if the main chick
It's tobacco.
like gets sick. So
Yeah.
if he wins, I'll probably vote for him.
Yeah.
Because I can't vote for Biden. I just can't do it. I cannot do it. It goes against my conscience to vote for Joe Biden because of what he did with the 1994 crime bill. But Trump is the dude. That's who I'm going to vote for. And I think there are a lot of people who realize, especially amongst black men, that he was good for us. What are your thoughts on that? It would have been fucking shitty. It would have been controversial as hell as I said that in 2015. But
Absolutely.
I can say it now. But as a black man, foundational black American man, what are your thoughts on that?
We covered we revisited the Ice Cube and Cocktails with Queen video earlier today, and they tried to stick the Trump jacket on him. They tried everything they did because we remember what was happening at that time. That was right at the end of the of 45's presidency, and it was interesting how hard they were really trying to just pin it on him as though it was like automatic. But when you think about it, you say, okay, well, he may have discriminated against some black families that he didn't want in his buildings. Tops maybe 500 families? Let's say 1,000 families, maybe black families that he didn't want in their homes. Okay. Millions of black people have been affected by Biden's crime bill. Not just the men that got locked up, but the families attached to those black men. He's done more damage to the black family in this country than any racist landlord.
Do you remember when you're right? And do you remember when Judge Joe Brown came here and he said not only was he the author of the 1994 crime bill, but he was the author of the 1988 crack bill.
Yeah.
And also he said, I heard him myself be anti-busing. So he was against integrate. So who's the biggest racist? If I told you there's two people voting for candidate, voting for president, one dude has every rapper worth rapping who has rapped in the past 30 years has mentioned him and aspired to be like him. And the other one is responsible for putting more black people in jail, breaking up more black families than slavery. Who would you say you would vote for?
I mean, I would go by the person that did the least damage to the black family, and that was
Trump. You put your stamp of approval on him until he became a so-called Republican. I really don't think Trump is really a Republican. I just think he's Trump. No. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a Republican. I'm just voting my interest. He's America first. How can we be mad at that? Let's take a quick break. But go ahead, please add on, and then we'll take a quick break.
I mean, as black folks, I think we've been conned into this kumbaya with immigration and kumbaya with immigrants kind of attitude when we're here first. So we should be looked at first. The tax dollars should go to us first, which ties directly into the whole FBA and Foundational Black Americans is, just so y'all know, all your resources are being given to these folks that are coming across the border. And who was trying to close the border?
Let's do this. I got a new segment that I'm planning. It's going to be called Ask the White Man. And so we got our own personal white man here that we ask questions to because we want to hear the white perspective because we're well-rounded here. We are a kinder, gentler group of folks here. So here's our favorite white man. Welcome, Trailer Park Willie. We got some white people questions we want to ask you. Does it make, Willie, how are you today? Welcome. Always good to have you here, Trailer Park Willie. What's up?
Oh, thank you. Is my mic on and okay?
We can hear you fine, Trailer Park. So here's the question, man. Does it make us racist if we vote for Trump?
Well, I want to ask you, can I cut the shit and be frank and pragmatic?
Let's hear it.
All right. Have you ever heard of the Rat Utopia experiment?
Yes.
Okay. We are in the late stages of the Rat Utopia experiment in humans where we created a utopia for humans. And it wasn't necessarily like black men that got the utopia. It was kind of like the white women that got the utopia. They got the, birth control, abortion, child support, alimony, and so they kind of got this utopia where they can just do whatever they want and they get free food forever and free food and water forever. And now we're living out the end times of that, where the women are like, okay, we want the alphas. And, you know, you can argue, like, do humans have alphas? Do humans have betas? But, like, realistically, Pookie and Ray Ray, that's the alphas. And that's what the women are going for. And that's who they're having the babies with. And that's where the kids are coming from. And then those kids wind up being, like, raised by single moms. And then they don't have a man around to say, oh, here's how to be an alpha male. And they wind up being like these, what in the rat utopia experiment, they called them pretty mice. They're like,
I hate to interrupt you. I have a quick question though for you. What is the white man's version of Pookie and Ray Ray? Because we want to add them in there too. What's that?
Chad.
Okay, Chad. Okay, Chad. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
but see, here's the thing. I wouldn't put a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray are degenerates. Yeah. And they're the couch surfers. They're the hobosexuals. They're the penis available that black women can control. See, there's a difference between African American women and white women. Culturally speaking, African American women are used to dominating the black community. They're used to being able to tell us what to do, and you jump and move. What's going on now is you got a new group of black men who's saying, "Fuck that shit, bitch. I'm not doing what you say, do." And so those are the men who have some backbone and who are standing up, and they're the ones that are ostracized. The Pookies and the Ray Rays are the degenerates. They're the ones who don't want to work, who go to jail. They're basically sperm donors. They wouldn't be good fathers anyway. They're not the alpha males. The alpha males in the black community, see, here's the thing. White women practice hypergamy. Black women don't practice hypergamy. They literally go for the lowest, crappiest dudes available. Chad is a guy. He's a stud. You see what I'm saying? Chad is a stud. I could see why a woman would want to be with Chad. Pookie and Ray Ray he's a fucking loser. In any other category, you take a Pookie or a Ray Ray and drop him off in any other culture, he would be categorized as a loser. That's what's so ass backwards about Black American culture right now. And that's what we're fighting against. We're literally fighting against a toxic culture that tells Black women good is bad and bad is good. It's no difference if you're speaking standard English. Oh, you're trying to be white. Look, I've been digging into this Thomas Sowell shit. You guys know who Thomas Sowell is?
Yes, sir.
You know who Thomas Sowell is, Trailer Park Willie?
No.
Thomas Sowell is this guy that graduated from Harvard. He's like 80 something years old. I really just found out about him about 4 years ago. Shout out to Johnny Walker. And so, I didn't really know a lot about him, but I know he's been kind of ostracized from the blackity blacks, from the pro-black section of the community, because he says shit that messes with their, what's the word I'm looking for?
Narrative?
Their narrative, right. That we're all victims. Come to find out, and Trailer Park, what is your actual heritage? I know you're American, but where's your ancestries? Where's Irish, Scottish, German, Polish, what?
Oh, well, first of all, let me get back to something you said before, because I'm Scottish from the potato famine people that came over here to.
So when did your Scottish relatives immigrate to the United States? Was it before the 1800s, or was it?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like early 1900s, but I have to look it up.
Okay, so here's what Thomas Sowell did in his book Black Rednecks. He talked about how the English around the London area, they're more sophisticated, but when you go to the outskirts, the what they call the borderlands, those people were less sophisticated. They were fucking white trash. Basically, that's what they call rednecks. And so a lot of them immigrated to the South. They immigrated to Kentucky. They immigrated to Western Virginia. By contrast, many of the people from England immigrated to New England. And so their values were different. Education, chastity, religion, Puritan values. And then you got these yahoos who came from Ireland, who came from the rowdy outskirts of Scotland, and they were just fucking redneck. They were doing redneck shit. You see what I'm saying? Those were your Pookie and Ray Rays. Most of them didn't even own slaves. They just were fucking poor Europeans that came from that part of Europe, and they were just didn't value education. They didn't. They were what some of our group is right now. The exact. Come to find out, a lot of Black Americans inherited that culture from them. You see, because that was a pervasive culture in the South. That was the ruling class. And so when I look at that and I say, fuck, the thing is, white people grew out of that shit. They say, look, you motherfuckers in that redneck trailer park, get your shit together, get the education, move on. And so they grew out of it. But that culture is still stuck in many ghettos in Black America. That's not me saying that. That's Thomas Sowell saying that. But it makes so much sense. He says that sometimes the transferred culture will remain with the culture that inherited long past its existence in the place where it started. You don't have rednecks in Scotland and Ireland anymore like that. You see, that's not what's going on over there now. They embrace a more formal, important, dignified culture that cherish family relationships and so on. And we're still stuck in the shit bag. Now we're churning ourselves out of it through education. And this is what people like myself and Alvin and other people who assassinate this degenerate character all the time, and we make it hard for them to exist. For many years, and Alvin can back me up on this, being ignorant and hood was considered Black. Being sophisticated was acting white.
Wait,
you see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Wait, let's get the definition of Pookie and Ray Ray correct, because in my understanding, that's like the gangsters, the thugs, the drug dealers from the Black community.
Yeah, that's degenerates. That's degenerates.
What I'm hearing when you say that. So
those are degenerates. Yeah, those are the degenerates. The ne'er-do-wells, the don't want to works, the in and out of jail, the irresponsible with their penises.
That's the men that the women are choosing to have babies with. Right
those
now
are the ones that they can control. See, those are sperm donors that they can control and have no rights. You got a group of women, Black American women, who would rather be the bosses of a pile of shit than submit to a man who is church loving, who's paid the bill, who's dominant, who's going to put some order in the family. That's what we're dealing with. That's the ass backward culture that we're dealing with right now.
Okay, I'm going to go back to some show you did a while ago. You did a show on the Ghetto Boys. Is about Kevin Samuels, and you were asking questions about like we're renegotiating the social contract. Right. And this is about men and women and what's happening in the future of marriage. And I'm giving you the foreshadow of where this goes, and that's the rat utopia experiment. And yeah. you should take a page from that book, because it happened to us white men, and it's going to happen to you Black men, and you're going to see the future where the women choose the alpha Pokey and Ray Ray guys, and then they have the kids, and the kids don't do well, and they don't become alphas, and they don't reproduce, and the fertility rate goes to zero. And all of you Black men who go abroad and get these women who are interested in being wives and mothers, you get to go on and have kids and reproduce and have, the future. And the rest of these women will just go on with nothing. Fertility rate will go to zero. And we're seeing that in the white community. It's going to happen in the Black community. It's going to happen in the Latino community.
If I may, do you think for a chance that maybe you kind of have it backwards and we've already experienced it and you're about to experience that?
Actually, I did ask myself that before I came on the show, and we're a little bit more advanced in this than you guys. But yeah, you have it bad. You have it much worse. I won't deny that.
Here's the thing, Trailer Park Willie. And I hate to put you on the spot, but you guys let these bitches in. It's your fucking fault. Y'all gave these bitches the right to vote. When Black men and white men had the right to vote, America was a better country. Will you agree with that?
I will absolutely agree that the 19th Amendment was when women got the right to vote and became a majority. They are
And
the
then
majority. That's why they got to say like women and minorities now, because women are the majority and they have the majority of the vote and they turn out more to vote than men. And they voted in a utopia for themselves where they can do whatever they want. And
right.
now we live with it.
And so now it seems as though they're out of control. That's what I see. But see, here's the thing. Trailer Park Willie, I tell dudes all the time, black men are the second biggest simps on the planet. White men are the biggest simps. You conquered the world. You brought these women through the blood and guts. You brought them everything they could ever want. You dominate the world. You've been dominating the world for 500 years. And look how your women treat you in response. They fuck all the NBA players they can. They hit you with Me Too. What else? Affirmative action. What else do they do? They're kicking. They're lying on you, saying you sexually assault. They gave you, what is
Divorce,
it?
alimony.
Divorce. Not just divorce. It's called what's it? Come on. It's coming to
No
me.
fault divorce.
No fault divorce. That's what white women gave white men in response. How does that make you feel? Because I've talked to the MGTOW guys. And see, a lot of people think it's only black men who are angry. I've talked to the MGTOW guys. One of the people I follow, Sandman MGTOW, I used to listen to his shit every day back in 2013, 2014. How does that make you feel?
I'm going to drop the bomb here.
For these rotten broads, and then they shove it. They say, fuck you, and shove it up your ass. How does that make you feel?
I'm going to drop the bomb here because you said I could cut the shit and be frank with you. And pragmatic. So here goes. 18 years ago, I threw these bitches to the street and I got myself an Indonesian Muslim wife, and I've been happily married for 18 years ever since.
Damn. Okay.
Shout out to Trailer Park Willie.
Yeah,
my kids are half Asian, you know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But my thing, but still, man, you see white men catching hell. Like, look, white women came over and whispered in the ear of black women and got them out of pocket. Okay. And now, just look at the shit that they're doing. Trump is clearly the best president for America, but because he reminds them of their mean dad who made them do shit that they didn't want to do, it's like they're rebelling again. What is this? Talk to us. Let us know.
I think we're at a point where men are just fed up and walking away, and it's getting down to the point where like the worst oppressed people in the world, the Black American men, are just like, no, fuck this, I'm walking away. And if you want to talk about some crazy shit, look at the pay gap between black men and white women, and you guys are like at like 84 cents on the dollar against white women. Yeah, and they don't give a shit about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They're just like, fuck you, you're a man. We don't give a shit about you.
The only black man the white women care about is like a George Floyd. They don't give a shit about a famous actor who's falsely accused of touching a white woman. They don't give a shit about him. They only give a shit about the Pookie and Ray Ray type. And George Floyd, he didn't deserve to die like that. That shit was effed up. Okay, straight up. Anybody, you hold somebody down with a blood choke like that on the back of their neck for 9 minutes, I don't care, unless they murdered somebody. Hell, even if you're giving somebody the death penalty, that would be considered cruel and unusual. But the bottom line is they would empathize with him over a clean-cut black man who maybe didn't even do anything. You see what I mean? Like this. So I don't have anything for the white female liberal crowd either, because I see how shady they are. Malcolm X told us about them. Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Marcus Garvey, Dr. Martin Luther King, all of our greatest thought leaders and leaders told us, don't trust those white liberals. I understand now. But my question is back to you. As a white American man born and raised in the U.S., I know you moved over, you got your wife who's foreign now, but you got brothers, you got nephews, I'm sure. How did you see them suffering, and you see what these white women are doing to them and shitting on them? How does that make you feel, knowing what white men have done over the past 500 years for white women, and that you basically conquered the world and subdued the world for them, and they're just shitting on you? What does that make you think? How does that make you feel?
Well, that's a tough question, because first of all, my mom ditched my family when I was young and went to see the world and party and find herself and have sex all over the world. And my sisters kind of did the same thing. And so my view of white women is not real high. And I saw my aunt and my grandmothers and all them die alone and do their thing and reject men all their lives and talk shit about men. And so I don't really have like this like high opinion of white women or women in general. And it's not because like I'm misogynist. It's just because like my experience in the world was just like women who hate men, and that's it,
Is it just white? Because it can't be all white women. I don't think they're dealing with this in Romania and Hungary. Is it just American women or is it Western women in your opinion? Because it can't be. What do you think?
Yeah, my wife, she's Indonesian, and her mom and their family, they're all nice to men. They treat us nice, and so I think it is a exclusively Western, modernized, feminist countries where this is the norm.
All right, we're gonna dig into that rat utopia thing in a minute, or mouse utopia. We'll be right back. Y'all hit the number 1 button.
You're recording? Yeah. I'm not about to heat on them.
How much do you weigh?
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that shit on my channel. You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Well, big shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels, boy. When they start really breaking down that footage in a couple of years, people are gonna be like, man, he was something else. But anyway, Alvin, what would you like to add on to? Because I want, and we were in Trailer Park Willie. Here's something I want you to understand. You clearly understand that there's a difference between Black Americans or who've been here for a while, and a Black American whose family is like from, I don't know, Nigeria or Ghana or something like that, or the Caribbean. And so there's instead of just being Black American, we've added foundational Black American onto the front of that. Reason being is because we need to be able to distinguish ourselves from the new African immigrants who come to this country. And so that's kind of what we were talking about here. But you're welcome to come on in, talk and chop it up, because it's good for everybody to understand why we're doing this. We don't think they deserve reparations. We don't think that they should get credit for the hard work of people like Dr. Martin Luther King, who fought for civil rights. They benefit from that. But oftentimes these immigrants will come to the country and then shit on the foundational Black Americans. Many of them are suffering from PSD from all the shit that we had to do to get to where we are now. But they come in, they go to the schools, they reap the benefits. If you look at Howard University right now, Howard University's medical schools filled up with Africans in the medical school, even though that university was founded for foundational Black Americans. And so we think that's unfair. You see? And I think a lot of people will understand that rationale. Alvin, what would you like to add?
I just, they do a good job of hiding things. And I think there's a lot of folks that are misinformed about the plight of foundational Black Americans and what they and their families have gone through. And I think it is right time that we start to, re-educate our own. I had a conversation not too long ago that was, it was embarrassing, right? To have to know that, Mr. Charlie down the street could, have his way with your wife or have his way with your family, or, you had to tiptoe around town, or you had to bow your head and cross the street, or you had to get off the curb, or, we as a group of people have had to deal with a lot of very embarrassing situations. And what happens is, I believe there is a whole block of oral history that is missing from foundational Black Americans that we have not shared with each other. There's information that we weren't able to pass down. And then you separate the man from that, and you really miss a lot of that oral history. And I think that's part of, I think, in my honest opinion, I think that's part of our missing link. I think that's part of why we don't have any pride in our family and who we are, because there's a missing part there.
Well, you know, and we got at Trailer Park Willie, you got some feedback coming in. That's why I put you on mute. Like I can hear myself speak. If you can turn your YouTube, maybe you got 2 YouTubes open. But yeah, you know, the thing is, our ancestors, grandma, they didn't talk about it. Our grandfathers didn't talk about what they went through. They just kept pushing. And so it's left on us to try to read through it. You know, like it's a lot, man. Like I didn't know that about a third of the Black people in this country were free and had always been free. And there was another large group of African Americans who owned slaves. I didn't know that the largest lynching was Italians down in New Orleans. I didn't know that. The largest people, I didn't know all that, you know, until I started digging into it. So history is not just a straight line. It's a lot of nuances in there. Even people like Trailer Park Willie, he'd probably be surprised to know that the majority of so-called white people in America have about 8% sub-Saharan Negro in them. Isn't that something? Isn't that crazy as shit? And because we've been around each other so long at this point. So it's a lot to deal with. But the bottom line is, as long as we are considered an individual group, we have to get on code. Let's take we got it, and it starts with the men.
Hey, Dennis, can I say something? You know, Alvin had the good point that the oral history of Black men in America is really not out there. And it's the women, they got their books and they got their movies and they're all documented, and the Black men are just forgotten. And you guys are out here now telling us, and that's mainly why I tune in. It's just because it's like, wait, what is this? These dudes, this dude Dennis is like some lawyer, and he pulled himself up by his bootstraps in fucking South Central LA during the Rodney King riots, and now he's on YouTube.
Damn.
And what the fuck it's like going on? It's like crazy, and I love it because you guys are just like getting it out there and getting the truth out and telling us how it is and what it's like. And I think you really need to like keep it going and saying like, this is it. And I love giving you arming you with all these facts about the rat utopia experiments and the white community and what we're experiencing and how it's affecting like your experience and how you're affecting our experience. And it's so important. And I love this conversation. I love that we can go back and forth as men and say like, this is what it's like being men and what we're experiencing. And I love that you like, you know, you don't fuck around. You cut the shit, just like Kevin Samuels. You just cut the shit and say, look, here, what do you think? These women are coming for you. These Black women want you now, and what do you think?
Oh, yeah, they coming for. You know what the other funny thing is, man? And I want you to talk to all the Black men who think they're going to do better with a white American woman based on your experience. Go ahead, because they think they make these white women in castles somewhere full of angel dust and pixie dust, and they're just, you know, I'm trying to explain to them, it's not necessarily, it is somewhat of an ethnicity thing, but for the most part, if you're dealing with a Western woman, you're getting the same shit. It's just your shit might have corn kernels in it, his shit might have some old chewed up cashews, but it's still the same shit. You see what I mean? Some of the shit's a little bit more aggressive than others, but it's all shady shit. Can you burst the bubble of these Black dudes?
All right, so we
like going over there dating a white woman, they're gonna be better off if she's from a Western country. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, so we have like racial preferences.
Yeah.
And mine is Asian, so I go to this one Asian country, and there's like these chicks who are like amazing. And you might have an African preference, and you go to this African country where the women are amazing. And then there's people who have like white women preference, and they go to the white women country where the women are amazing. And that typically is Eastern Europe. And
No,
so
I'm
now
talking about the black dude from Atlanta that's going down to Kentucky to get him a white woman from Kentucky, thinking she's going to be better than the white women from Atlanta, and they're all westernized. That's what I want you to hit on.
It's not how it works. You got to go to like Eastern Europe, like Ukraine, and be like, okay, now I got a traditional conservative woman who wants to be a wife and mother. If you go to anywhere in the U.S., they're just going to be like modern, typical women who, like, they just want the wedding day, and they want the kids for photos, but they don't want to be a wife and mother, and you're just wasting your time and getting divorce raped and all that crap, and it's not worth it.
So I want you brothers out there to understand something. You are going to get as I said before, it's just same shit. This one's got some corn in it. Well, this one has a little mayonnaise. This one got some chocolate chips in it. It's the same shit. You see what I'm saying? If you're dealing with a Western woman. Now, if you're happy to get one of those small percentage of women born in the United States who has a custom and a tradition of catering to their man, there are some, but they're few and far between, like 1 in maybe 100. You see what I mean? And most of them get married quick. So just don't fool yourselves, fellas. But anyway, let's take a quick break. I want to hit something real quick. You know what? Matter of fact, we've been here almost 2 hours. Well, actually, we've been here almost 3 hours. I'm earning my money. I'm talking to these gentlemen. We're talking about some positive things. I need y'all to get these super chats up. Y'all going to be with Jesus until we get these super chats up. Go ahead and make it happen now. Super Jesus is going to be here.
You recording? Yeah.
All right, you guys got to pay me for my time. You're going to be with Jesus. We got 1 cash out. We need 6 super chats. We'll be right back. Ain't there yet. I'm serious, y'all. Okay, we need 4 more super chats. Y'all got to pay me for my time. I need 4 more super chats. Come on, we need 4 super chats. Y'all ain't gonna have me here all night. I could be memorializing Memorial Day too. I should be drunk somewhere. Get it done. We almost there. We got two more. I trust that y'all will come through with 2 more super chats. Alvin, so what do we do moving forward here, man?
I can't tell y'all he's racist. Y'all don't put that part on there. Y'all don't put
the thing that I want to, and let me,
everything that he said to me.
I got some background noise coming in from somewhere.
In the center
for some reason.
Fort Myers.
All right, here we go. So Alvin, we lost Trailer Park, Willie. He had to go and clean the back 40 out the trailer park. What are your thoughts? Well, let me do this. Big shout out to everybody who contributed. We actually got 31 super chats, so we went over. Big shout out to Sleep with the Third Eye, Praise Moses for the collection plate, Simple Shit TV. I got 5 on it. Martin Dupree. Ooh, Benzerolite 1. Sam C said, we know the Rat Utopia. Big shout out to you guys. Thank y'all so much for helping Uncle D hit that. get my money's worth. I appreciate y'all paying me for my time. But anyway, brother, seriously speaking though, how do we begin to take this message broader? Black men should defend themselves. Why? Because we got to be the ones on the front line. How can our women submit to us and be cooperative with us? We can't even defend ourselves against them. You see that psychology?
Yeah.
Where my red pill dudes at? They say the red pill is dead. No, the fuck it's not. Somebody type red pill in the chat room. I don't care what your favorite half American, half Londoner says. The red pill is not dead because the knowledge is there.
Yeah.
Let me give you some game. Shit test is something you learn from red pill. Black women have been shit testing black men for about 70 years. And it's just now that we're saying, no, bitch, we're not going to let you sit up here and talk shit about us. Fuck you and the color purple. Somebody type, fuck the color purple in the chat room. Hello? Remember what did Tupac said? Fuck the color purple as a crew, as a song, and as a business. Okay, that's what I'm saying. All right, fuck the color purple needs to be the fuck the color purple, boycott the color purple. That's where I'm at. These are shit tests. If you can't defend yourself, if you can't organize yourself enough to defend yourself against a bunch of weed-wearing hooligans, right? Yeah. How you expect to defend yourself against the machine called white supremacy, racism, and all the systems that are designed and set up to benefit this group of people? And let me just point something out to you all. If I ran the country, I would want to make sure my sons would put up first too. You understand what I'm saying? I'm always going to look out for my own. Stop bitching and complaining about what the Chinese man is doing for Chinese, what the Arab man is doing for his own Arab people, or what the white man is doing for his own people. You need to do something for yourself. You see what I mean? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan used to say it all the time. Learning from Elijah Muhammad, learning from Malcolm X. Do for self. That's part of being on code. Do for yourself. I don't care who you like and who you don't like. Do for yourself. We need to start doing for ourselves. And we can't even stick together and put these broads in their place. How they gonna respect us? That's the shit test. Gerald, are you willing to pass that shit test? Are you gonna put these bitches in their place. I need to know, my light-skinned brother. Go ahead, let's hear it. Praise God.
Well, Uncle D, I mean, I would love to. I really would. But man, Alvin and me talked about this. That rock in a hard place, man. That is a serious thing. And when it comes to that, I mean, we have to find a certain level of, having to stand up for ourselves, and also, treading carefully about who we deal with. I mean, especially with these lovely ladies. I mean, it's just situation where it's like, damn.
Let me I want to run something down to you. You can marry a woman who is from the total opposite of the earth, and you still gonna have to deal with black women in the HR department, at the airport, at the grocery store, at the Dunkin' Donuts, at the Starbucks, driving down the street. You still got to deal with them, and they still gonna be trying to, in your own household, your mama's house, your big mama's house. So my thing is, just because you're having a relationship with someone else, you still got to deal with them. And so how does it make you look? And I can talk to Trailer Park Willie about this. Trailer Park Willie got a Indonesian woman. You still got to deal with them white women that raised you, your mothers, your sister. What if she sees you being checked and pushed around by these white women? Is she going to respect you after that, Trailer Park Willie?
Oh, they came in hard, and they tried to convert her and make her a feminist and get her to divorce me. And she's like, no, I'm Muslim. I don't do that. I believe in my husband, and I'm a good woman, and I don't. And they were fucking furious, and they're out of my life now. I don't talk to them anymore.
Damn. Okay. So you basically turned that cold shoulder, huh? God
yeah, they're gone. They're gone. My mom, no contact. Hard necks. My sisters, no contact. Damn. It's like that, really.
Willie, I mean, here's the thing, man, and I don't know your real name. I'm gonna just keep calling you Trailer Park Willie till you tell us. That's the shit that black men are going through too. And it's like, we thought it was just us, but here's the difference. In the black community, we're supposed to revere the black woman. She can do no wrong. You see what I mean? And so for us doing it, it's a huge step. If you talk about a black man's mama, he's supposed to get out the shotgun and shoot you in the ass. Like, that is our sacred cow. You see what I mean? And so it is revolutionary for all these black men to finally be able to say, you know what? My mom was a shitty mom. She was a crappy human being. She was a horrible person. And that's a reality that we're living in. But it's interesting to know. You guys hear that? It's in their it's in this Western women's programming. It's in their programming. Go ahead.
It's really, you got to just understand what's in your best interest and say, oh, this woman is a narcissist, or she's whatever BPD, and this is bad for me, and just cut the line and say, no, just tell these women no, and move on.
I wish it was that easy, Willie. I wish we could tell these lovely ladies, but you know what? They show up anyway. You see, they won't leave us alone. They make movies called The Color Purple. They'll revise a fucking movie that shitted on black men to re-indoctrinate a new group of women in. They won't leave us alone. We go, hold on, let me, because I'm about to let you know exactly what's going on. We go overseas. We call ourselves passport bros. These bitches go to the darkest corners of the internet. They dig it up, they put it in the light, and they tell everybody, look, perverts, blah, 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 blah. They won't leave us alone. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. These bitches are going to start going overseas and hanging out where we're hanging out, insulting our game. They're going to be in, where the brothers going? They're going to be in the Dominican Republic. They're going to Colombia. They've already had a couple go to Brazil. They're going to the Philippines just to go over there and do what you do. This is what they're going to do. And then when they get over there and get their asses in trouble, they're going to expect you to bail them out. You see what I'm saying? So they won't leave us alone, Trailer Park Willie. They're like dudes.
It's not gonna work though, because like the same thing happened to me. Like the white chicks would come to Thailand and go to the red light district and walk through there and be like, seeing the competition. Like you guys are going through the same thing that we went through, and it's not going to work because you're just going to go find women that you're going to go find warm, welcome, opening arms, and then you'll go get married and have kids and be happy, and then the women will be like, look at that, that's terrible, and then the women will snap back. Like right now you got all the clap back from the foreign women, and they're just like, what the hell's wrong with you? Are you racist? And then the women are like, oh my God, I'm racist. It's like you gotta understand it's not gonna work. So you shouldn't be afraid.
Well, see, our ladies think they own us, though. Yeah. Literally own us. They have some ownership over us, where we can go, what we can do. They think that we actually have a ball and chain connected to us, and that we can't leave the country unless they say so on and so forth. This whole black men traveling thing is relatively new. We're the newest group of men to, as a whole, collectively, even just talk about traveling, let alone actually traveling. And this is their response. You know what I'm saying? Like the military guys have been doing it for a really long time, but this is the first time in mass regular black men have been like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of town. And this is our response. Or at least their response to that, which is why this is how it's different for us, is because they think they own us.
Yeah, white men been traveling. I mean, you guys been traveling Earth since Odysseus and the Odyssey. You see what I mean? It's just fucking known. Y'all take y'all dicks in a sail and travel around the motherfucking world. Fuck all you can. You see what I mean? I mean, salute to you.
Let me just respond to Alvin real quick.
Yeah.
That's the same response that I got, was like hatred and anger, and it was my mom and my sisters, and I was just like, fine, you're cut off. You're hard next, and I'm not talking to you again. And I mean, I think you guys got to just like get to that point where you just say, these women are not on our side, and they're just like shaming us, and we're just going to move on and go live our lives and have our life with new women.
Let's do a poll in the chat room. How many of you black men have cut your mothers or female family members off, or will do it? Or let's just say, how many of you all have done it because they really don't want you to have your freedom? They think they have ownership over you. Hit the #1 button if you've cut female family members off for the exact same reason that Trailer Park Willie. Maybe she was rude, nasty, you grew up, decide. Hit the #1 button, let us know. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with Magnum, but I want to get that answer. Y'all let me know.
There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skinned, huh? There you go.
Welcome back to the broadcast. It looked like we lost the fella that was here earlier. Magnum, we lost. You want to come back in? Come back in. So let's see what the people said. Yeah, we got a lot of them. We got completely
a bunch of ones.
It's not an uncommon phenomenon. Magnum, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, I've had a range of experiences related to dealing with our women and women from other cultures. Being in the military, being a veteran, I've dealt with women from I guess what you could say is other service members, women from, we got gospel going on in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. That was, praise God. Praise God.
Praise
Go ahead, brother. Praise Jesus is always with us, Lord. Hallelujah.
Outstanding.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. But I've experienced, and not bragging at all, I've had women from Greece, Egypt, Cuba, South America, all over the place. Yeah, I've been all over the place.
You've been doing a lot out there in these streets, huh?
Yeah, so I've been a lot of different places. But the main thing that I've seen is the conditioning that women have in our culture is completely different than the women from other cultures. But the problem that we were just talking about is when you bring them here. For example, I worked in a donut shop. I was real curious about learning how to do that. And while I was doing that, essentially, we had this one of the kids of the owner was raised here, and you could tell she was completely different in behavior wise and how she conducted herself around adults. As she was getting older, she became more what do you say? What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know, brother. We vibe, and I put some music on in the
Yeah, it's
background.
smooth. I'm feeling
Like
it.
that?
I'm
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
it's vibing.
This is
Yeah, I gotta put some
1580
out.
KD. Welcome live. We are here tonight
Indeed.
with the Pamela fellas. We talking about these rotten ass bitches. Making those angry for you. All right, baby. So tune in.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Smooth.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but really, like the mentality is completely different, and we can all see it. And we got brothers who are leaving the country and going to deal with that. And
Yeah.
with our women, like my mother, it's tough to talk about this in some ways, but in other ways, it's refreshing. Um, I never really had a connection with my mother, so I was raised by my grandmother. And my grandmother basically taught me everything I knew about women. I had no real father experience except with my stepfather. My
Yeah.
stepfather was actually kind of like you, which is funny.
Really?
And believe it or not, yeah, he was very tough, and I wasn't used to that. And it was funny because the mentality of having to deal with a stepfather who was tough and a mother who was not necessarily used to interacting with a boy, I wasn't conditioned to having that emotional connection, and at the same time not used to that toughness. So I'm in between and not knowing which one that I'm supposed to look after. And as I get older, I want to be different. I want to be the one who's kind of like Jodeci and Joe and 112 and Jagged Edge. So we in that era, and I'm thinking that's how you're supposed to interact with women. And the whole
Simp
time it's
era.
supposed to be like, yeah. And my mom got the dude, like, the tough dude, like punching me in the chest, and I'm like, this is how we supposed to act. This is what we doing. Like,
It's confusing. I can
yeah,
imagine.
but definitely. So that was my perspective on it. But how do you see us really change that?
Well, here's the thing. All right. I think all of us Western men can agree, whatever color you are, whatever religion you are, we failed. We fucking failed. We got too soft. We decided, oh yeah, come on in. We got Eved. We got Delilah'd. You see what I'm saying? We got Solomon. That's the wisest man, the first man, and the strongest man. Because we didn't stand on our principles. You see what I'm saying? There was a time when black men, white men, and folks, but we didn't get along in this country. But the country was, for the most part, kids went to school. We had order in this country. We were divided, but we got rid of the good parts that we had, as though it was all, we threw out the bath water. We threw the baby out with the bath water. We could have maintained our family-oriented values and said, hey, in reality, we got a group of men over here who fight together. They fought in every war. They've helped defend this country. They deserve these rights that we all have. That's what we could have had. But again, I'm gonna tell you, man, crazy shit. When I read this Thomas Sowell, and I just discovered this guy, this name popped up like 4 years ago. Really just read, I just bought his first book 3 weeks ago. And I've been listening to some of the stuff. There was a time in places like Detroit, they already had black people and white people living next to each other. And they all had family values. Okay? When white people from the South start moving to the North, they just fucked it up because they were rednecks. And then the black people start coming and doing those different migrations, and they fucked it up. You don't want to live next to people like that. And that's when integration kicked back in. You see what I'm saying? You really got to check this book out because it explains a lot. Basically, there were some black people that were already inundated into the north and these major major metropolitan cities in the Midwest. Everything was working out. But when too many black folks came with that Southern ghetto mentality, that redneck mentality that they picked up from the Irish and the Scottish, then it was like, we don't want to live next to them. So what are we going to do? We're going to segregate this. So what's happening now is it's all coming in the wash. Things, education, family values are starting to kick back up.
Hey, can I throw something in here, Dennis?
Say again?
Can I throw something in here?
Go ahead.
Magnum seems to be talking about male role models and how he didn't have those. And I think that's a big topic that maybe you could hit on. And
yeah, I was about to get on that. Basically, what I'm saying is, fellas, it's on us as men to go ahead and hold the line and say, this is not what we're going to take. And we're not going to take this anymore. We're not, we're men. You're not going to pathologize basic male behavior like talking loud, spreading your legs on the bus. We're not going to let you do that because we built this country, we defend this country, and we maintain this country. And yeah, you have the right to vote, and yeah, you have the right to education, but you can't do what we do, period. And I think the feminists are getting a smack in the mouth right now from these trans athletes because it's giving them a mush. You know how back in the day they'd mush, this is what you want, this is what you get. I think it's happening for them right now, and they're really like, what have we gotten ourselves into? You see what I'm saying?
Oh man, I think it's even worse than that. Basically, the attitude. I'm sorry. Can I say something?
So it's all coming to a head. Here's the thing: we need to remember these times as men when they took the power we gave us and tried to outlaw us from the country that we built. That's what I want you guys to think about. And you need to, and I do this with my sons, and you can see they're very masculine young men, very opinionated. They don't hold back. They say what's on their mind. Stop teaching your little boys these false narratives that have nothing to do with manhood. Strength, right, honor, integrity, hard work, endurance, family, belief in God. These are the things that have kept every society together. Not just America, not just these are what we need to instill in our sons. Toughness, mental toughness, physical fitness. These are things that naturally give you masculine dominant men who are not going to put up with that bull crap that women are trying to feed us. That's what I'm saying. We'll take a quick break. We're going to go back to Jesus. I need 7 more super chats. I know y'all like the music in the background. This has got y'all sleeping. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Jesus back up into it. Praise God. Hallelujah. We'll be right back. I got some new stuff for you. Matter of fact. We lost a few guys here, but that's all right. Look, fellas, I want to go ahead and wrap this thing up. We've been on here for about 3 hours. But I want to kind of stick back to the subject. Understanding the big picture. There was a reason why Kevin Samuel said, "Hey, I want to get this Dennis Spurling working with me." There's a reason why the good brother Tariq Nasheed said, "Hey, this dude Dennis Spurling, he's got something." As unpopular as I try to be, as mean as I try to make as much hate, I purposely tell these women, please hate me. Hate me, hate me, hate me. But then when I went to the damn stage, they was clapping. They really liked what I had to say. You see what I mean? I was talking about black men and their rights, and I was talking about the rights, black fathers' rights. I was talking about how 51% of black men don't have children. All the shit that pisses these women off on the internet. But when you go to the real world, they like, yeah, that makes sense. It says something. It says something like, in a balanced world where you have people who aren't afraid to show who their faces are, when you say something reasonable and it makes sense for the time, they'll go along with it. So what I'm telling you guys is take this stuff we're saying off the internet. Kevin Samuels has his part. All right, we get that. But you also have your part. You got to get out there and you got to be an advocate for yourself and your fellow black men. That's my suggestion. Gerald, let's do a round real quick. Do you get what I mean when I say understanding the big picture? Go ahead. And unmute yourselves, guys. The floor is open.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of our public image and who we are as black men, we got to be prepared to, stand in the crucible and, defend our names and also, give us some light to the situations that we're facing, especially here in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, I think we can actually, I truly believe that in terms of our ethics and our ethic image and our talents, I mean, nobody can really match us. And when left alone, I truly believe like we can surpass a lot of these groups.
I agree.
When that time comes, I mean, how we get there, I mean, it ain't gonna be easy, but we have to try to find ways where we could actually help other brothers if we can, and help them see that the situations and the circumstances that they're in. So yeah.
Alvin, you've been quiet for a minute. What you got?
I think I just wanted to touch on something. I think, how do we communicate that it's a better way, right? Mm-hmm. You're a good looking, wealthy man. I think that we need to figure out how to show that it is better this way, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things I always talk about is like, unfortunately, the lovely ladies would love to be, you said it, ownership over a pile of poo than being submissive to, just a good black man. And I think that, showing how this new standard, black men staying on code, how this is a better, more successful way is the way to go. I think if we can communicate that properly, I believe people would get in line. I'm not going to necessarily say the lovely ladies, but at least a bunch of men, a bunch of men that, just like how we found this space, realizing like, man, something's not right. I can't quite figure it out, but I need to. And then you see a guy, a gentleman like you, and you say, there it is. Okay. Those are some of the things I'm missing. And I think that is probably the next way to go.
Okay, cool. Magnum, man, what you got, man, on understanding the big picture?
Understanding the big picture, I'm gonna be honest. It's tough love.
Hold on one minute. Y'all hit the number one. Get the chat room is quiet as a rat pissing on cotton in the middle of a fucking farm. Go ahead and hit the number one button. Go ahead, Magnum. Go ahead, baby.
Yes, sir. All right, so basically they gonna have to hit the head. I'm gonna give an example. A friend of mine who was a mentor of mine, he dragged me out of what was essentially a depression. I was in depression hard. I lost my kid, custody of my kid. This was all during COVID and stuff. So for like about 4 years, I was just out of it. I was done. I was through. My guy, my mentor, he basically was like, get your soft ass, excuse my language, but get your soft ass, get out your feelings, stop feeling sorry for. I mean, he got me out of that, whatever it was, and he ended up passing away. Sadly, sad to say.
Wow.
I didn't get the chance to thank him for everything that he did, pulling me out of all of this. And on top of that, his daughter comes from out of town to run the restaurant that he was running. He's basically teaching me everything he knows.
Yeah.
He's giving me all the game, all the secrets, all the financial insight, everything. So I'm learning all this stuff. His daughter starts running it. I'm talking about, I'm warning her. I'm giving her the game because she comes down because he passed away.
Yeah.
She has it for about 3 to 4 months. I'm warning her. I'm giving her all of the game. And dudes were telling me, yo, these females are hard headed. They don't listen. They don't want to listen. They don't. If you ain't doing a certain thing, if you not, I don't know what it is. If they don't see something, whatever it is that they're supposed to see, they're not gonna listen.
Yeah.
So if you're giving them game, if you're telling them something and they don't understand the messenger, they rather ignore the message than really process the information and actually learn from it. So she ended up losing the business.
Wow.
So it's like it's killing me inside because I want to save the business, but I can't because you're stubborn. Like you don't want to listen to the lessons that you can learn. And
Mhm.
it's like that's a small example of what the entire culture is doing. So the reason why I said that is because I help out in the community. I work with young boys who one of them was his grandson. So I'm talking to him, giving him game on the things that he taught me, on how to stay in your square, stay from being emotional. Don't let people get to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't quit. Just teaching him all the little things because I saw him as a 14-year-old boy,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at him like, damn, I see this kid as a representation of me, and he's in the kitchen working as if he's me.
You
I'm
know, the thing is,
go
man, and let me do this before we go.
ahead, go ahead.
Simon Morning, he said, "Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, brother. Paid
Mhm.
players are in demand. As a collective black men, we should endorse any politician that would deliver a family law reform." Agree with that. Almost done with your books, Uncle D. I work nights and it's hard to get on your show. Thank you for being an advocate. Praise Moses. That's right. Y'all type praise Moses
Praise
in the
Moses.
chat room.
Praise
Yeah, I had to
Moses.
tell the Crimson Sun to stop using my shit on his show. Okay, you see, he stopped saying praise Moses and pray. I tell you, you get your own shit. Okay, took
Yeah.
me a year or two to come up with that. Sleep with the third eye. You stealing my shit, and he wants his contributions. Like he gonna go
Yeah.
upstairs and count. That was for me, Daddy. That's mine. Got some cash. I'm like, nah, player. We ain't gonna run it like that. He's like a little bill collector. On
Oh
page trying
man.
to cheat his brother out of shit. Just like, dog, the dude. How you gonna do your brother anyway? That's internal family shit. For the collection plate,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Simple Shit TV and of course Arrowhead. But anyway, I wanted to make sure I give my guys a shout out. We got one more in here. Yeah, that's it. So look, man, I appreciate y'all. This has been like a little slow night. We had a little different rhythm than we normally do. We'll be back swinging and banging tomorrow. I needed a rest after that flight. I got up 5 o'clock in the morning, hit the airport, got there, got back. Mind you, I got two boys I'm dealing with. So we all got to be suited and booted by 6:30 a.m. So I needed to I took a little break yesterday, but Crimson Sun wanted to come in and get his paper. So he's like, all right. I'm like, dog, you got to get your own channel up and roll.
Yeah, man.
Out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, big shout out to Magnum, Gerald, Arrowhead, Alvin, Holden, of course. Always good to have you up in here.
Sure.
And then my man Trailer Park Willie came through. It's good to see that what we're doing here is becoming more generalized. It's becoming more acceptable. Us demanding to be treated like human beings as opposed to property. Black men demanded to be treated like men as opposed to indentured servants, free men at that. I think it warms my heart to see the work that I've been personally doing, and that's been an advocate for black men becoming more accepted across America. But it's only the right thing to do. You're always gonna have haters. I can understand why the lovely ladies would hate me. I have no idea why black men would hate on what I'm trying to do. That makes no
That
sense.
mother got his SIM chip, man. Oh my God.
It's got to be worse than that. They just want to tear anything down. It looks like them. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Anything they think they can reach up and grab. Some men are just here to destroy. And unfortunately, those are the ones you got to beat back with the barrel
with a
of your
stick.
rifle. You just got to hit them right between the eyes, and they got to fall down into the bottomless pit. And
Sound
that's
about right.
unfortunate. Everybody's not gonna make it, but they can't stop me unless they stop all y'all, because I've done my work. I've said what I had to say. I'm an advocate for Black men. That should be your first nature. You should. Me telling you to be an advocate for Black men is like, yeah, I'm an advocate for Black men because I'm a Black man. And you'd be surprised how many men around the world are pulling for us. They want to see us. They look up to Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, and Michael Jackson. Shit, they want to see us do well.
Yeah,
they do. And all you guys got to do is realize that you're free men. Somebody type that in the chat room. I am a free man. I am a free man. All you brothers in the chat room. I am a free man. I am a free man to come and go as I please. No one owns me. These are the things I want. These are the permanent, these are the affirmations I want you to tell yourself. No one owns me. I am a free man. The world is mine. The world belongs to me. I have a
think a
right
lot of us
to
are afraid.
explore the world. I want y'all to write this down. See, this is the doctrine that I preach. I have the freedom to come or go, or stay or leave. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Nobody has ever told Black men that. You know what the pro-Blacks tell you? Stay here and fight it out with the white man. And then when you decide to leave, oh, it's white supremacy everywhere. I will stay here and fight here. You see?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're free, but go see. I don't believe them. They've been lying to you for the past 150 years. They're going to keep lying to you. They want you to stay here and fight that beat cop on the street that's getting $35,000 an hour. And I'm telling you, no, take a flight, go somewhere, see what it's about. That's the difference between me and a lot of these podcasters. I'm not trying to put no burdens on you. I'm telling you, you're free. You see what I mean? And I think that does not fit within the narrative of the Black America that I grew up in. The Black America that I grew up in said that men are utilities. They should be at the disposal of women. The nearest woman you are. Matter of fact, you're a community utility. Your penis and your labor are belong to the community. And anytime you go anywhere else and give your penis or your labor to any other group or any other group of women, and it's not approved by the lovely ladies, you're in violation and you deserve to be chastised and punished. I'm telling you, no, you're free men. And that is actually revolutionary.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you guys to take that message and move on with it and understand that the world belongs to you. You have a right to explore it. Understand the big picture. And the big picture is that we are all of us Black men, no matter if you're a lawyer, a doctor, a plumber, electrician, truck driver, military serviceman, hell, even you're a fucking convict. We're all looked at as one big Negro. And so we might as well get on code. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Now, it's on us to get the Pookie and Ray Rays in line. Y'all remember last year when I said I put a fucking bullet between your motherfucking head? It got their attention, but it also made many of them say, well, damn, I'm always talking about putting bullets between motherfuckers' head. And now he talking about, I brought them that same energy. I think Gerald said that. I gave them that same energy because that's the language they understand. And I recognize that. And y'all do too. I just was the first one to say it from this position. That's all that I did. I gave them that same energy. But now you see how to handle them, because see, some people don't understand pain, ignorance, disrespect, harshness. You see, that's how you deal with tyrants. That's how you deal with people who feel they're entitled. The same way I do these lovely ladies. I call them out on their BS and they don't like it. But now it's too many of us. But the most important thing is I'm getting them up off of you so you can get ready, so you can stand up and be the men that you're supposed to be. Because as black men walk forward, man, it's the whole world is uplifted, especially black American men. We are the example that so many follow. So keep that in mind.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, Trailer Park Willie said something interesting. He said they need more black male role models. Fellas, look. If I got on here every day and told y'all how to be better men, that's not my place to do it. That's why I tell you to be the best man you can be. See what I mean? You know what that is. You need to lose 20 pounds, lose 20 pounds. You know what you need. You need to be a better father, be a better father. Some of y'all don't need what I'm teaching. Some of y'all need a little hell. I need some of what y'all teaching. You see what I'm saying? We can all help each other collectively. All I'm telling you guys to do, be the best man that you can be. You understand what I'm saying? You can't ask a one-legged man to win a foot race. You 50 years old and all your children are angry with you. You can't be a better father at that point. You got to be what you can be. You see? No need for me to tell you to go chase that rabbit. So be the best man you can be at this time. That's what I want y'all to think about. Other than that, man, this is Uncle D. I love you, brothers. Always good to have y'all here. Shout out to Bill, Alvin, Magnum. Also, Trailer Park Willie came through. That's our white affiliate from the Trailer Park. Other than that, man, I love you guys. Uncle D. I'm out.
Peace.